In terms of voter ID, as we have in past years, we are here to support repeal of the voter ID law. There are just a couple of points I want to make. You've heard that there's absolutely no evidence of people being disenfranchised because of the law, and we have to respectfully disagree with that. Our evidence is anecdotal, just like the other evidence you've heard in support of the voter ID law is anecdotal, but if you look at the written testimony we've provided, which we also provided last year to the House Oversight Committee. We had poll monitors in 2012 at a number of locations, and they did report a handful, it's not a lot, but they did report a handful of incidents where people were turned away from the polls, not given a provisional ballot, because they failed to present proper ID. So from our perspective, we think that is a real problem. It has happened, and we think the problem will only get worse with the new provisions in effect for solely photo ID in the 2014 elections. I also want to briefly address the example that Senator Lombardi gave to Mr. Marion. You know, Mr. Marion is absolutely right in terms of the evidence about where fraud has occurred by looking at criminal charges. It has been in absentee ballots, it has been in registration. It has not been from voter impersonation fraud. And the reason, at least to me, seems fairly obvious. If you have a candidate or somebody working for a candidate who is willing to risk the felony penalties that are associated with fraudulent voting, maybe 10 years, I don't know how much, but it's a serious penalty, and you have two choices, which one are you going to take? Are you going to choose to engage in fraud knowing that somebody's on vacation and wrongfully, unlawfully get a mail ballot and send it in? Or are you going to have somebody go into a room with a bunch of people under a process where, if it's done correctly, the name of the person is spoken out loud and the room is ringed by individuals who are there to monitor what is going on and who, at least theoretically, as wardens, poll workers, watchers for candidates, have a vested interest in rooting out voter fraud? To me, the answer is clear. If there's going to be fraud, where it would occur.